The following matchup is being played with HistoryMaker Baseball Express, a fast-playing baseball simulation board game, a property of Play Games LLC, copyright 2022, all rights reserved. Welcome to today's episode of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. In today's episode, we are kicking off a 2-week long featuring MLB stars who played at the College Baseball World Series. As we all know, the College Baseball World Series is just about to get underway. Usually it's early June to about mid-June is when the College Baseball World Series is being played at Omaha. But today we are featuring our first of two Rivalry Night episodes for this for this 2-week featurette for featuring MLB stars who played at the College Baseball World Series, as we are featuring the 2017 New York Yankees and the 2017 Cleveland Indians. Some of the players on the Indians who played in the College Baseball World Series include Andrew Miller, Trevor Bauer, and for the Yankees, of course, DJ LeMahieu. Who will come on top of this matchup? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in and find out because game one is coming up really quickly here. But first, before we get to first pitch, let's have a little look back and say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of Rivalry Night as part of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. We would like to take time to say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of the HistoryMaker Baseball Express Hour. This episode, first of all, is being brought to you by your favorite Bitty Beer products. And again, if you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. Hey, it's a blend of hops, rice, and barley that gives Bitty Beer its taste. But we know better. It's our brewing process that gives our beer that one-of-a-kind flavor that no premium beer can match. Our vats have never been cleaned. There's an itty-bitty bit of history in every can. Bitty Beer, the beer for folks who can't afford better. And by Doc Cola, the official cola drink of the Play Games community. Doc Cola uses finest ingredients to bring you that sugary blast of caffeine you've come to know and love. Twice the sugar and 3 times the caffeine of any other major. Doc Cola is sure to keep fired up from dawn till dusk. Take the Doc Cola challenge. See why our customers agree you'll never be able to wean yourself from a refreshing Doc Cola. And by Pizza Kingdom, the official pizza joint of the Play Games community. Pizza Kingdom, our signature New York style pizza, starts with crust. Then we layer on our homemade pizza sauce, then load your pizza up with mounds of cheese. When it comes out of the oven, piping hot, golden brown, and ready for you to enjoy. Then we give the majestic culinary work of art to Mikey, our 16-year-old delivery driver who has responsible as a tree. Pizza Kingdom, it's sheer perfection. Left the store. And by Suncoast Capital Banks. At Suncoast Capital, we live by one simple rule of investing. When our clients win, we win. When our clients lose, we win. Suncoast Capital, you know we're going to get all of your money anyway. And by Rubicon Wireless. Why pay $200 a month for wireless service when you get 4 lines for just $25 a month? With our tin can plan, you can access our wireless network that covers at 25% of coast to coast between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. with unlimited text and messaging those hours, of course. So why overpay for service you cannot live out? Rubicon Wireless. And we're just about set and ready to go for game one of this episode of Rivalry Night between the visiting Cleveland Indians and the home team New York Yankees. Today's game will be played with History Maker Baseball Express as we kick off our MLB stars who played at the College Baseball World Series week, a 2 week special feature here on the channel. With that being said, your starting pitchers for game one is going to be as follows. For the Yanks, it will be Jordan Montgomery. He is a lefty with semi-star, flash, and semi-control. And opposing him, when we'll see him in the bottom half of the first, will be Carlos Carrasco. He is a right-handed pitcher with semi-star, full flash, and full control. With that being said, lineups are out on screen. And without further delay, let's get things going here at Yankee Stadium for game one of this episode of Rivalry Night here for MLB stars who played at the College Baseball World Series week one for the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. We'll begin things with a 5.56, and that is going to read star pitcher on Montgomery. He is a semi-star. The decider dice says yes, he is. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 5 dot, and that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the first for Cleveland, and so it's Cleveland nothing, and the Yankees are coming to bat in their half of the first inning. 1-1-4. Is Carrasco a struggler pitcher? He's not. Is Brett Gardner a sat sack hitter? No way. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if control. Carrasco has control. That black one will be reduced to a big fat 0. So therefore, it will be a no runs result of a 1 blank. Oh, excuse me, of a 4 blank. I'm sorry about that. 4 blank on the no runs result. And that is going to do it for the first inning here at the stadium. After 1 inning of play, your score is a big fat goose egg between the Cleveland Indians and the New York Yankees. 2-2-3 to begin this next portion of this top half of the second. Do we have an ace pitcher in Montgomery? We do not. Utility on Frankie Lindor? No way. That's going to be an RBI check. And unfortunately, the decider die says no RBI. You're staying scoreless. So therefore, it's going to be a no runs result of a 2 dot. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the second. We head to the bottom half of the second with no score. 2.56. Workman on Carrasco? No. Sadsack on Aaron Hicks? No. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Carrasco has flash. So from bases loaded, the runners on second and third. And that is going to bring up his honor, your honor, Aaron Judge off the men on base chart. We have a 56. Patient batter draws the walk. Aaron Judge is patient. The bases are loaded, full of Yanks. And that'll bring up the DH, Matt Holliday, off the men on base chart. 45. Fresh pitcher gets the ground out. And again, for those of you tuning in for the first time, the way that we play freshness here for the first inaugural season of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour, we're treating every team as they're on a neutral playing field, 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. With that being said, since we're still in the full freshness innings, Carrasco gets out of a bases loaded jam and gets a huge ground out to end the end the bottom half of the second inning here at Yankee Stadium. And after 2 innings of play, there is no score between the Indians and the Yankees. We have a 5-5-6. Yes. Oh, excuse me. 5-6-6. Star pitcher on Montgomery. He's a semi-star. 5-6-6. Yep, I want to make sure I was reading that right. So yes, Montgomery is a semi-star. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 6 blank, and that is going to do it for the top half of the third. We head to the bottom half with no score. 115. Is Carrasco a struggler pitcher? He's not. Utility on Starlin Castro. He's not. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if Flash. Carrasco does have Flash. This game remains scoreless. As we head to the fourth inning with no score, it will be a no runs result of a 1 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the first 3 innings here at Yankee Stadium. Your score after 3 innings of play is the Indians nothing and the Yankees nothing. Five, 5-6 to begin this top half of the fourth. For Montgomery, is he a star pitcher? He's a semi-star. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 5 dot, and that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the fourth inning here at Yankee Stadium, with your score at a big fat goose egg between the Indians and the Yankees. 3-4-5. Star pitcher on Carrasco. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he's not. Stat sack on Didi Gregorius. He's not. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if Flash or Control. Carrasco has both Flash and Control, so that 5 will be reduced to a big fat 3. But it'll be reduced by 2 because Carrasco has both Flash and Control. So with that being said, I think they're going to play it safe. The Yankees are going to play it safe, put the runners on first and third, and that'll bring up Todd Frazier off the men on base chart. We have a 14. Scrapper hits single. Get out of here. When is Todd Frazier ever a scrapper? That is going to be a bases clearing double, and the New York Yankees are going to strike first with a 2 RBI double by Todd Frazier as they lead it 2-0 here in the bottom half of the fourth. We continue to roll again on the men on base charts for Austin Romine, the catcher for this game for the Yankees. We have a 16. Good eye. No, Austin Romine does not have a good eye. Usually, we're now into like the modern era portion where you see where good eye is rarely seen in today's game. So with that being said, that is going to be a strikeout on Carlos Carrasco, but not before the Yankees get 2 runs across to cross home plate as they lead it after 4 innings of play, 2-0 over the 2017 Cleveland Indians. Two, 3, 6. 2, 3, 6. 6. Here we are. Struggler or Gilden on Montgomery? No. Sad sack on Jose Ramirez? Nah. Get out of here. When is Jose Ramirez ever a sad sack batter? So therefore, that is going to be an RBI question mark check, and it looks like, let me just double check. Star, no. Sad sack, no. So the decider die was not used. So therefore, Jose Ramirez did not get the RBI that the Indians were looking for. So therefore, after 5 innings of play, it'll be a no runs result, or excuse me, 4.5 innings of play, I should say. It'll be a no runs result on Jose Ramirez of a 3 dot, and that is going to do it for the top half of the fifth. We head to the bottom half of the inning with the Yankees in front of the Indians, 2-0. 116. Struggler on Carrasco. He is not. Utility on Chris Carter. He's not. That is going to be another RBI question mark result, and this time The decider die says, yes, you are going to score a run. So therefore, Chris Carter gets an RBI, and that is going to bring us to the end of the first 5 innings. Excuse me, here at Yankee Stadium with your score: Yankees 3, Indians nothing. We head to the 6th inning here at the stadium with a 3-5-6. 3-5-6. Here we are. Workman on Montgomery. No way. Champ on Carlos Santana. No. That is going to be a no runs result unless there is a possibility of a solo home run check. Carlos Santana is a slugger. However, the black die, in this case, the white number, so that way you guys can see on screen what the number on the black die is a 3. So therefore, that is therefore, no 6 is popping up on the black die. So therefore, it'll be a no runs result of a 6 dot. Let me just make sure. Workman, no. Champ, no. So yes, no runs result of a 6 dot, and that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the 6th. After 5.5 innings of play, the Yankees lead it 3-0 over the Cleveland Indians. 3-5-6. Workman on Carrasco, no. Champ on Gardner, no. Another chance at a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Brett Gardner, same thing with Santana, is a slugger. However, the black die is not a 6. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 6 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the first 6 innings in this ball game. Your score after 6 innings of play is Yankees 3, Indians nothing. We head to the 7th inning here, and Jordan Montgomery remains semi-fresh. 2-6-6. 2-6-6. Here we are. Star pitcher on Montgomery. He's a semi-star. However, the decider die says he's not. Champ on Chisenhall. He's not a champ. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Oh boy, folks. Lonnie Chisenhall has slugger. The black die is a 6. There goes the shutout. The Indians are on the board thanks to a solo home run by Lonnie Chisenhall. As the Indians get on the board, it's 3-1 Yankees as we head to the stretch here at the stadium. And while these fine patrons here at Yankee Stadium sing a good rendition of God Bless America, along with Take Me Out to the Ball Game, we do see a new pitcher trotting in from the pen for the Cleveland Indians. And we'll find out who that is after we take this really quick timeout. And we're back here at Yankee Stadium as the fine folks sing a good rousing rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, along with a beautiful chorus of God Bless America. And it seems we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Cleveland Indians as Andrew Miller, who, by the way, is one of our featured stars on this Cleveland Indians team that played in the College Baseball World Series. With that being said, Miller has the ace, star, double flash, and semi-control qualities. But for this at-bat against Aaron Hicks, as he was warming up in the pen in the 6th inning, Miller will have the full extent use of the control quality. With that being said, we head to the bottom half of the 7th with your score as we resume play here at Yankee Stadium. It's Yankees 3 and the Indians 1. 1-5-5. Ace pitcher on Miller. You bet he is an ace. Therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 5 dot. And since Miller had full control for this at bat against Hicks, no doubt about it, when the stats are being compiled, the full control quality for Hicks will be in effect. With that being said, we head to the 8th inning here at the stadium. It's Yankees 3 and Indians 1, as we do see a new pitcher trotting in from the bullpen for the Yanks. And while that new pitcher is taking up his warm-up tosses, we will take a very quick timeout. And we're back here at Yankee Stadium, and it seems Chad Green will be the new pitcher for the Yanks as he has ace, double flash, and control printed out on his card. Look at this at bat against Bradley Zimmer. Chad Green will have the full extent use of the double control quality. With that being said, Bradley Zimmer is all set and ready to hit. So is Chad Green ready to pitch to him. It's Yankees 3, Indians 1 as we resume play here in the top half of the 8th inning. 1-2-5. Pitcher not fresh. No, Chad Green is the bullpen arm, so that way he is considered fresh for the remainder of the contest. 1-2-5. Here we are. Champion on Bradley Zimmer. He's not a champ, so therefore that's going to be a no runs result of a 5 dot, and that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the 8th. And with that being said, we head to the bottom half of the inning. The Yankees are leading the Cleveland Indians by a score of 3-1 as we enter play here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 5-6-6. Judge is at the plate against Andrew Miller. With a 5-6-6 star pitcher on Miller, you bet he is a star. That is going to be a no runs result of a 6 blank, and that'll do it for the the first 8 innings of this game, of game 1 here for this episode of Rivalry Night. Your score as we head to the top half of the 9th, and last call for the Cleveland Indians. Your score is Yankees 3, Indians 1. Last call for the Tribe as Yan Gomes steps up to the plate with a 2-4-6. Star pitching on Green. He's not a star. Champ on Gomes. He's not. 2-4-6. Yes. Champ on Gomes. He's not. That'll be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Yan Gomes has semi home run king. Oh, and the decider die says no. Star, no. Champ, no. Yes, decider die was not used. So therefore, Yan Gomes is not going to get the solo home run. So that is going to be your ball game, folks, as it will be a no runs result of a 2 dot. And the Yankees are going to take game 1 of this episode of Rivalry Night by the final score of 3-1 over the 2017 Cleveland Indians. From Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio, we are all set and ready to go for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night between the 2017 New York Yankees and the 2017 Cleveland Indians, as we are about to get our MLB stars started, performed at, or played in the College Baseball World Series. A 2-week feature here for the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. For game 2, your starting pitchers are Trevor Bauer for Cleveland and Sonny Gray for the Yankees. No lineup changes for either team. And Trevor Bauer has flash and semi-control, while Sonny Gray has semi-star, full flash, and semi-control. With that being said, Matt Holliday is ready to step into the batter's box to face off against Trevor Bauer as Bauer is all wrapped up tossing his warm-up pitches. We're about set and ready to go for game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night between the Yankees and the Indians. 2-5-6 is what we're going to start with for game 2. Workman pitcher on Bauer. No. Stat sack on Holiday. No way. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Bauer has flashed, so that 2 will be reduced to a 1. So Matt Holliday is going to go to first base for Starlin Castro. And Castro will take his hacks off the men on base chart with a 33. Scrapper hits single. Castro is not a scrapper, so therefore that is going to be a triple. And I believe that is going to bring in the first run of the ball game for the Yankees once again. So the Yankees strike first once more here in this episode of Rivalry Night between themselves and the Tribe. And that is going to bring up Didi Gregorius off of the men on base chart. 24. Goldfielder makes the out. Jason Kipnis is not gold, so therefore that is going to be an error. Another run does come home to score. It's 2-0, and that is going to allow Gregorius to go to first safely via the error E4 on Kipnis. We're going to continue things to hit here on the men on base chart with a oh my goodness, 15. Scrapper hits a single. No siree. Todd Frazier is going to connect on one as he sends it out to the bleachers in left. It is high, it is far, and it is out of here. Todd Frazier just connected on a 2-run home run for the Yankees, and after 1 inning of play, the score is Yankees 4, and the Tribe are coming to bat in their half of the first inning. .556 is Francisco Lindor will be the first batter officially because Kipnis was used to check for the fielding. And we have star pitcher on Gray. He's a semi-star. The decider die says he's not. Hero on Lindor. He's not a hero. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. The black die is not a 6. It's just 1 number off as the ball dies on the warning track for the out. And it will be a no runs result of a 5. Yes, to check for the star. The decider die was used. It'll be a 6 blank to conclude things here in the first inning of play for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. Your score after 1 inning of play is Yankees 4 and the Indians nothing. .166. 166. Here we are. Ace pitcher on Bauer. Last half inning, he wasn't an ace, but he is not. He doesn't have ace printed out on his card, so therefore we ask: is Romine a sad sack? He is not. That is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Romine is a stoic runner, so therefore that 6 will be reduced to a 5, and we'll place the runners on its second and third. And that is going to prompt a little visit to the pitching mound, by the catcher to hopefully calm down Trevor Bauer, as so far he has given up 4 runs and is in danger of giving up a couple more to begin Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night for MLB stars who played at the College Baseball World Series. With that being said, Bauer is all calmed down. We head to the men on base chart for Chris Carter to take his hacks off the men on base chart. We roll a 35 control pitcher. Bauer is a semi-control pitcher. Oh, the decider die says he's not. That is going to be another walk. The bases are loaded, full of Yankees, and that is going to bring up Brett Gardner, who can really bust this game wide open to force Cleveland to go to the pen early. As we do see the pen out in deep right center field, getting to work for the Indians. We do see some movement out there. So with that being said, we continue to roll off the men on base chart. 35. I just want to make sure in the last step. Yes, it was a walk. So therefore, we have a 23. Eager grounds out. Gardner is not an eager batter. Nowhere to put him. That is going to be a run for the Yankees. As it's now 5-0, and we do see that bullpen still trying to get some work. Still trying to warm up just in case, but Trevor Bauer is on the edge. Yeesh. With that being said, we continue to roll off the men on base chart. My God, a 15 on Aaron Hicks, and my God, Scrapper hits a double. Unfortunately, Hicks is not a scrapper. That is going to be a break out the rye bread, Grandma. Make me a grand slam sandwich. 9-0 Yankees here in the second inning. And folks, that Indians manager is going to take Trevor Bauer out of this game. He does not have it for game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night, as your score after 1.5 innings of play is Yankees 9 and the Indians nothing. 1-1-2 on Brantley. Ace pitcher on Gray. He's not an ace. Sat sack on Brantley. He is not. That is going to be an RBI check. And according to the decider die, yes, sir, there will be a run. So the Indians do get on the board, courtesy of Michael Brantley, as the black die is not a 6. So therefore, the Indians do get on the board. As it is now, Yankees 9, Indians 1, and we will head to the third inning by that score. But before we do, let's take a little break here as the Indians manager has decided that's enough. Trevor Bauer is not going back out there to deal some more damage to the Yankees. So therefore, the Indians are going to go to their pen early here. So therefore, we will take a quick timeout to allow the new pitcher for the Indians to take up his warm-up tosses. Timeout. And indeed, the Tribe manager did not waste any time to go to the pen to hopefully salvage this game and hopefully a chance to come back in this series, as Dan Otero will be will be the bullpen arm for the rest of this contest for the Cleveland Indians. He has star, semi-flash, and double control. Hopefully Otero's job is to keep the Yanks at bay while the Cleveland Indians try to crawl their way back down by 8 to hopefully salvage a game in this rivalry night series between themselves and the Yankees. With that being said, the score as we begin the top half of the third with Aaron Judge stepping up to the plate. Yankees 9, Indians 1. We have a 5.56. That is going to be star pitcher on Otero. He is a star. That is going to be a no runs result of a 5 blank. And that is going to be all she wrote for the top half of the third. Yankees 9, Indians 1 as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. 2-3-3 on Edwin Encarnacion. Ace pitcher on Gray. No way. Champ on Encarnacion. No. So therefore, oh man, every no runs result is brutal for Cleveland. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank. And that is going to seal up the first 3 innings of this ball game. Your score is Yankees 9, Indians 1 as we head to the top half of the fourth inning. Two 6-6. Is Otero a star? He is. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 6 blank. And that is going to do it for the top half of the fourth. Yankees still lead it by 8 runs. It's 9-1 in favor of the New York Yankees. 2.56. Is Gray a workman pitcher? He's not. Is Jose Ramirez a sad sack? He is not. So therefore, that's going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die if flash. Gray has flash. It's a start from 2 to a 1. Jose Ramirez will go on at first, or will trot down to first base for Carlos Santana, as it is a start for Cleveland to hopefully crawl back into this game. Again, down 9-1, down by 8 against the New York Yankees, as we'll roll for Carlos Santana's hacks off the men on base chart. 13, fresh relief pitcher gets the pop out. And again, I played freshness again, 3 full fresh and 3 semi-fresh. Since Gray is, since we have a dot, Gray is still semi-fresh. So therefore, Gray will get the pop out to end things here. The Indians put a runner on, but they do not allow him to score. So therefore, after 4 innings of play, the Yankees hang on to their 9-1 lead over the Cleveland Indians. 226. 226. Here we are. Ace pitcher on Otero. He's not. Utility batter on Starlin Castro. He's not. That is going to be another RBI question mark check. And the decider die says no. Cleveland's trying to crawl their way back in, but you guys keep trying to put a road blockade up. So with that being said, it'll be a no runs result of a 2 dot, and that is going to do it for the first 4.5 innings of this ball game for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. Your score is remaining Yankees 9 and Indians 1 as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. 246. Star pitching on Gray. He is a semi-star. The decider die says yes, he is. That is going to be a no. Yes. Yes, no runs result of a 4. There we go. 4 blank, and that is going to do it for the first 5 innings of this ball game here at the Jake. Your score is Yankees 9, Indians 1. Four, 6. Workman on Otero. He's not. Hero batter on Gregorius. He's a semi-hero. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Gregorius is a semi-stoic runner, and he's not. So therefore, that 6 will remain put. Oh man, that is not good news if you're a Cleveland Indians fan, as that'll bring up Todd Frazier off the men on base chart for his hacks here in the top half of the 6th. 36. Active batter gets runners advanced to bases single plus a stolen base. I go by this as the running quality, so therefore, Todd Frazier is not an active runner, so therefore, it's going to be a contact result, and I usually roll the red die for my contact chart results. And we got a 6. That ground out is huge for Cleveland, as the score remains 9-1 as the Indians get out of a bases loaded jam. We head to the bottom half of the inning with the score Yankees 9 and the Indians 1. Triple fives. This is going to, it's going to be an experience check. So give me 1 second here. We'll roll the white die, or in this case, the black die for this. We have a 1. And it asks, do we have an icon pitcher? Sonny Gray is pitching, and he is not an icon. So therefore, it's going to be a men on base result. And, good, huge. That is huge. 2 is going to put Bradley Zimmer on at second. And we go to the men on base chart for Yan Gomes. Can the Cleveland Indians rally here? Let's find out. With a 45, fresh pitcher gets the ground out. We're still in the semi-freshest innings, and Sonny Gray will get the ground out, snuffing up the Cleveland rally once again. With a runner on, he does it once again. With that being said, Yankees lead it by a lot. Yankees 9, Indians 1, as we head to the top half of the 7th inning here at Progressive Field in Cleveland. 566. 566. Here we are. Star pitcher on Otero. You bet he is a star. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 5 blank, and that'll take us to the stretch here at the Jake with the score: Yankees 9, Indians 1. As we do see, and it looks like the manager for the Yankees has shook in the hand of his starter Sonny Gray, and it seems a new pitcher is trotting in from the bullpen for the New York Yankees, and we will find out who that is while the fine folks here at Progressive Field sing a good rendition of God Bless America, along with Take Me Out to the Ball Game, will allow the new Yankee pitcher to take up his warm-up tosses. And while he does so, we will take this really quick timeout. The score as we enter the bottom half of the 7th inning is Yankees 9, Indians 1, as Dellin Betances will be the new pitcher for the Yankees, as he has the star, double flash, and semi-wild qualities. But for this at-bat against Jason Kipnis, he will have the full extent use of the semi-ace quality. With that being said, let's get the bottom half of the 7th rolling here with the score: Yankees 9 and the Indians 1 here at Progressive Field in Cleveland for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. 566. Star pitcher on Betances. He is a star, so therefore that is going to be a no runs result of a 6 dot, and that'll do it for the top half of the that'll do it for the first 7 innings here at Progressive Field. Man, oh man, time is running out for the Indians here to hopefully try to come back and crawl their way back into this one. Your score is remaining Yankees 9 and Indians 1. 113. Struggler on Otero. He's not. Utility on Romine. He is a utility batter, so therefore that is going to be a no runs result of a 1 blank, and that'll seal up the deal for the top half of the 8th. This is the Indians' chance to hopefully put together a big inning here against Dellin Betances. We head to the bottom half of the 8th inning with the score: Yankees 9 and the Indians 1. 555. Oh, 555. So this is going to be another experience check. So let's roll the die here. We have a 3. Icon batter. The batter is Francisco Lindor. He is not an icon, so therefore that is going to be a no runs result. And we will keep the original roll of a 5, and we'll keep the original roll of the decider die for this one. So it'll be a no runs result as we head to the 9th inning here at Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. The score is Yankees 9, Indians 1. Chris Carter will be the batter as we have a 466. Workman on Otero. No way. Hero batter on Carter. No. That is going to be a no runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Chris Carter is a semi-home run king. 466, Workman, no. Hero, no. Yes, decider die was not used. Unfortunately, Chris Carter does not have home run king. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 4 dot, and that'll seal up the deal here for the top half of the 9th. Last call for the Cleveland Indians here in Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night. The score is Yankees 9, Indians 1. Michael Brantley will get things going with a 114. Struggler on Betances. He's not. Champ on Brantley. No. That is going to be it, folks. The final score here at Progressive Field will be Yankees 9, Indians 1, as it will be a no runs result of a 1 blank. And that is going to seal up the deal for Game 2 of this episode of Rivalry Night, as the Yankees take a 2-0 lead here in this Rivalry Night series over the 2017 Cleveland Indians. Can Cleveland try to win Game 3 to salvage Game 3 and prevent the sweep from happening for the Yanks? Guess you're going to have to tune in to find out sooner rather than later, because Game 3 will be coming up next But first, let's have a little look at Game Two's game summary presented by your favorite Bitty Beer products. And again, we remind you, if you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. As always, it has big taste at a bitty price. It's Bitty Beer. And we're back at Yankee Stadium for Game 3 of this episode of Rivalry Night, as the Indians are down 2 games to none, as the Yankees are looking for the 3-game sweep of this episode of Rivalry Night. A couple of changes to the lineups for both teams. Austin Jackson and Roberto Perez come in, plus Abraham Almonte will come in as well. Almonte is the right fielder, as Jackson will patrol center. Roberto Perez comes in to catch the starting pitcher for this game between the Indians and the Yanks. As I forgot, the Indians are on the road and Yankees are at home. So, sorry, the pitchers were switched wrong. So therefore, Corey Kluber will start on the hill for the Indians, as he will be opposed by Luis Severino, who is finishing up his warm-up tosses here at Yankee Stadium. For the Yanks, the only change is Gary Sanchez at the catching duties. With that being said, Luis Severino is all set and ready to go, and so are we. Let's get rolling here for Game 3 to find out, will it be a sweep for the Yankees, or will the Cleveland Indians salvage Game 3 of this episode of Rivalry Night? It is time to find out. 1-3-4 to begin Game 3 with an ace check on Severino. He's not an ace. Champ on Edwin Encarnacion. He's not. So therefore, that is going to be a no-runs result of a 4 dot, and that'll do it for the top half of the first here at Yankee Stadium. And it's Indians nothing, and the Yankees are coming about in their half of the first inning. 1-6-6. Ace pitcher on Kluber. He's a semi-ace. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that is going to be a no-runs result of a 6 blank, and that'll do it for the top half of the. Excuse me, that'll do it for the first inning here at the stadium. And after 1 inning of play, we have a big fat goose egg between the Cleveland Indians and the New York Yankees. 4-5-6 on Jose Ramirez. First, we asked Severino, is he not fresh? Well, again, I play it as 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh, so everyone is on a neutral playing field. So therefore, we're still in the full freshness innings. Is Ramirez a champion batter? He is not. So therefore, that is going to be a no-runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. Oh my word, the black die is a 6. Luis Severino hung a piece of cheese right in Jose Ramirez's hot zone in the strike zone, as Jose Ramirez sends one out to deep right field, and no one is going to get this one. It is gone. Jose Ramirez will hit a solo home run since he has slugger. The black die is a 6, as he gives the Tribe a 1-0 lead over the New York Yankees here in Game 3 of this episode of Rivalry Night after 1.5 innings of play. This roll is for the bottom half of the second with a 1-2-3. Is Kluber a workman or struggler? He is not. Champ on Hicks. No way. That is going to be a no-runs result, and that'll be a 3 blank on the no-runs result. and good use by and good job by Kluber getting runs on as his team gets himself runs on the board and keeping that slim 1-0 lead after 2 innings of play. 136. Ace on Severino. No. Hero batter on Carlos Santana. He's not a hero, so therefore that is going to be a no runs result. Are you kidding me? Excuse me, with the possibility of a solo home run. The black die is a 6, and are you kidding me? Carlos Santana is going to hit one high, far, and Judge is not going to get this one. It is gone. Cleveland leads it 2-0 on a pair of back-to-back home runs by Jose Ramirez and Carlos Santana as we end things here in the top half of the third with the score Indians 2, Yankees nothing. Three six six. 366. Here we are. Workman on Kluber. No way. Utility on Judge. He's not a utility, so therefore that's going to be an RBI check. And unfortunately, the black die was a 6, and there is a rule in this in the express version of History Maker Baseball. If the black die is a 6 and the decider die, which in this case is a blank, but if it were a dot, it would have been not 1 RBI, but 2 RBIs. It could have been a tie game, but the decider die says not you're staying put at a big fat goose egg after 3 innings of play, and that is going to do it for the first 3 innings. It'll be a no runs result of a 6 blank, and that is going to do it for the first 3 innings here at Yankee Stadium, as aforementioned, with the score Indians 2, Yankees nothing. 456. Pitcher not fresh on Severino. We're in the semi-freshest innings, and according to the decider die, he is still fresh. Champ on Austin Jackson. He's not a champ. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result with the possibility of a solo home run. Jackson has semi-slugger. The decider die was used just to see if Severino was fresh or not. Does Jackson have a slugger? He does not. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 5 blank. And that'll do it for the first 3.5 innings of this ball game with your score Cleveland Indians 2 and the New York Yankees nothing. .355 on Matt Holliday. Star pitcher on Kluber. 355. Yep, I just want to make sure. No, Kluber is not a star. Champ on Holliday. He's not a champ. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result of a 5 dots, and that'll do it for the first 4 innings of this ball game. Your score after 4 innings is Cleveland Indians 2 and the New York Yankees nothing. Two, 3, 6. 236. Here we are. Severino, is he a struggler or gilded? It looks like he's not. Sad sack on Roberto Perez. He is not. So therefore, that's going to be an RBI check. And yes, indeed, Roberto Perez will add on another RBI and another run to that tally for the Cleveland Indians as they lead it 3-0 over the New York Yankees after 4.5 innings of play. 1, 2, 3. Workman or struggler on Kluber. Get out of here. No way. Champ on Castro. Get out of here. No way. That is going to be a no runs result of a 2 blank. And that'll do it for the first 5 innings here at Yankee Stadium. Your score is Cleveland Indians 3 and the New York Yankees nothing. We head to the 6th with a 2-3-4. Pitcher not fresh. Well, Severino, we're still in the semi-freshest innings, and it looks like the decider die says no, he is not. So therefore, I usually go by whenever the pitcher's not fresh comes up. For those of you tuning in for the first time on how I play it, I go by as dot. He's still fresh. Blank. He's not. So therefore, it'll be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. Monte is a neutral runner. So therefore, that four is going to stay put, putting runners at the corners for Jason Kipnis off the men on base chart. And it's a 22. Batting at home, no, the Cleveland Indians are the visiting team for game 3. So therefore, it will be a flyout to end the top half of the 6th. And that is a good start for the Yankees to hopefully try to crawl their way back and solve the Sudoku puzzle that is Corey Kluber. As they are down by 3 runs, it's still Indians 3, Yankees nothing as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1-2-6. 1-2-6. Struggler or gilded on Kluber? No way. Hero batter on Didi Gregorius. He is a semi-hero. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that is going to be a men on base result with a base running adjustment. It looks like Gregorius is a semi-stoic runner. The decider die says he's not. So therefore, that 2 is going to stay put, putting runners on at second for Todd Frazier. And that'll bring out the men on base chart for Mr. Todd Frazier. With a 24, Goldfielder makes the out. Frankie Lindor is a semi-gold, and the decider die says yes, he is. From the seat of his pants, he gets Todd Frazier by a half step. Man, oh man, what a play by Francisco Lindor to nab Frazier at the bag. Your score after 6 innings of play is still Cleveland Indians 3 and the New York Yankees nothing. Timeout. And it seems the Yankees manager has decided to take his starter out of the game after 6 innings of play. And we have Adam Warren on the mound now for the Yanks, as he has semi-ace, full flash, and full control. For this at-bat against Michael Brantley, Adam Warren will have the full extent use of the ace quality. With that being said, we get things going here in the top half of the 7th. It's it's Indians 3, Yankees nothing, with Michael Brantley up at the dish. 4-5-6. Pitcher not fresh. Well, again, Adam Warren is the bullpen arm. He is considered fresh for the remainder of the contest. Brantley, is he a champion batter? He is not. So therefore, that is going to be a no-runs result with a possibility of a solo home run. The black die is not a 6. So therefore, that is going to be a no-runs result of a 6 blank. And that'll take us to the stretch here at Yankee Stadium with the score, Indians 3, Yankees nothing. And we do see Corey Kluber popping out of that dugout as he will keep going with himself maintaining the semi-fresh quality since he is pitching so far scoreless baseball. $3-6-6. Workman on Kluber, no. Utility on Sanchez, he's not. So therefore, RBI question mark, and unfortunately, there goes the shutout. Corey Kluber Gary Sanchez will break up the shutout as it is now 3-1 Cleveland as we head to the top half of the 8th. Your score is as aforementioned, Cleveland Indians 3 and the New York Yankees 1. $2-2-6. 2-2-6. Here we are. Ace pitcher on Warren. He is a semi-ace, and the decider die says he's not. Utility on Edwin Encarnacion. He is a semi-utility. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that's going to be a no runs result with the possibility of a solo home run. Edwin Encarnacion is a home run king. So therefore, they're going to get the 3-run lead back as he hits this one high, far, and gone out to the short porch and left. As the Indians tack on a run, it's now Indians 4, Yankees 1, as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And while we do see a new pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, and while the new pitcher is taking up his warm-up tosses, we will take this really quick timeout. And we're back here at the stadium as we have a new pitcher in Cody Allen for towing the mound for the Cleveland Indians, as he has star, double flash, and semi-control printed out on his card. For this at-bat against Chris Carter, he will have the full extent use of the full control quality. With that being said, we resume action here in the bottom half of the 8th with the score, Indians 4, Yankees 1. We'll begin things with a 3-3-4. Star pitcher on Allen. You bet he is a star. So therefore, that is going to be a no runs result of a 3 blank. And that is going to do it for the bottom half. Excuse me. For the bottom half of the 8th. And we head to the 9th by the score of Cleveland 4 and the Yankees 1. 2-3-6. Struggler or Gilded on Warren. He's not. Sad sack on Jose Ramirez. Get out of here. When is Jose Ramirez ever a sad sack? So therefore, it's going to be an RBI question mark check, and the decider die says yes, sir. They'll tack on an insurance run just in case. So therefore, that is going to do it for the top half of the 9th. As it is now Indians 5, Yankees 1. Last call for the Yanks as we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. One, 4, 6. Acer dynamic on Allen. He's not. 1, 4, 6. Here we are. Stat sack on Gardner. No way. That is going to be a men on base result. -1 for the black die of control. Allen does not have control. Remember, for the at-bat against Chris Carter, he had the full extent use of the control quality. So now he's back to semi-control. So therefore, runner will get on it first. It's a start as we will have Aaron Hicks take his turn off the men on base chart. 26, home run king, it's home run. Aaron Hicks is not a home run king, so therefore that is going to be a contact result. And I usually roll the red die for my contact chart results. We have a 5, champ. Aaron Hicks is not a champion. That is going to be a pop out, and that will be the ball game. Your final score for Game 3 as the Cleveland Indians salvage a game in this Rivalry Night series, but the Yankees will win this Rivalry Night series 2-1 as the Cleveland Indians salvage Game 3 of this episode of Rivalry Night to prevent the sweep from happening by the New York Yankees, as they will win it by the final score of 5-1. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode of Rivalry Night as we featured the 2017 New York Yankees and the 2017 Cleveland Indians. Well, it seems we ran out of time for today, but never fear. Let's see what's coming up next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. We are going to continue our featurette on MLB stars who played at the College Baseball World Series, as we are going to be featuring Kyle Schwarber and the Philadelphia Phillies as they take on the Houston Astros as we revisit the 2022 World Series on the latest edition of World Series Rewind. Who will come on top of this matchup? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour that was being played with History Maker Baseball Express. We look forward to bringing you more matchups of Rivalry Night, World Series Rewind, Cross Era Showdown, and a blast from the past as we revisit some classic and memorable games from Major League Baseball throughout the 2026 Major League Baseball regular season.